Do is show you an example of how to calculate your forecast after round one. So beginning in round two, in both the practice round and the competitive rounds, you'll want to use a more advanced forecasting technique. And I had provided several files in that Capstone resources folder on Moodle. I'm going to show you one here that I think would be a good one to start with, and that's this advanced forecasting Word document. And it gives an example of how to calculate the forecast using the December customer survey score method. So I strongly recommend that you create some sort of spreadsheet that you can readily use to do your forecasting for each of your products and each of your segments. Now, if you take a look at this document, as it shows this example, you're going to want to start with determining what the next year's total industry demand will be based on the segment growth rate. And then you're also going to want to use the December customer survey scores for each product in that segment to determine your product's market share. I'll scroll down here where you can see where the information can be found. You can get the total industry demand at the top here under traditional statistics, as well as the growth rate. And then as you see here, this one example in this sheet here is using egg. And so with egg, we get the December customer survey score of 45, and you would want to total up all the scores for this segment from each of the products, right? That's what we're doing. We'll go back up here, and now let's show you my example. I just created a quick spreadsheet. So let's look at our Capstone Courier page for the traditional segment analysis. And if we go here, we can see that the industry demand last round is 8,067,000 or 8,067 here, as you can see. Then the next year's segment growth rate is 9.2%. I'm going to do my example for Baker. Baker had about 19% of the market share last round, so let's see what they have next round. We're going to note that their December customer survey score is 31. Okay, we'll want to sum up all of these survey scores to get the total. Again, this is the growth rate. These are the numbers we're going to use. And then what I did is I put together this forecast sheet. You can set it up however you want. I'm going to go down here. So you can just match this up. All I did was I entered Baker's score here somewhere on the spreadsheet, and then I typed in all the different December customer survey scores that are here. This gives me my total. And then I take Baker and I divide by 152, and that gives me the percent market share. So it's about 20% of the market share. And then remember, if we go back up to the top here, we have the total unit demand and the growth rate. And so all we need to do is take the total industry demand and multiply it by the growth rate. Remember, add a 1 to the percent, and then this tells us how many units are going to be demanded next year. So 8,809. And then the last step here is to take this percent of the market share, take next year's demand, and then multiply the two together. And that tells us that Baker should be able to sell 1,796 units. So this technique is much more accurate than using the basic forecasting method. And I recommend, again, from years 2 and beyond, that you do this for each of your products in each of the segments. So I hope that helps in better understanding how to do the forecasting. The last thing I just want to add, hopefully by the way that these videos and my comments in the PDF of the Capstone Courier are useful for you, don't forget to make your HR decisions. There is a document in the Capstone Resources folder on Moodle that explains the definitions for the different HR aspects. I also encourage you to go into CapSim and click on the online help and read through the different areas where you have questions. You just type in a search in the online search box, and you should be able to get answers to a lot of your questions. There's also some tutorial videos that you can find within CapSim, as well as if you go into Moodle, there's a link in there that brings you to a YouTube series of tutorials. It's called 15 for 15 Countdown, and it has a series of videos that are also very useful. And lastly, if you want to continue to practice, the rehearsal tutorial will let you conduct up to 5 rounds. So if these 2 practice rounds are not enough, you can continue with the rehearsal tutorial to get more practice. Again, I encourage you to put in as much time early so that this is easier for you as we move through the course. You'll have to invest a lot of time now. It should get easier as you gain more experience with it. Thank you.